Running a brokerage is hard work, so whether you're focused on building your own sales pipeline, hiring the best agents, leveling up your team's production, or protecting the culture you've built, you're in the right place. Real estate brings the challenges, and we share the solution. Welcome to the show dedicated to broker entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Brokerpreneur Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur Podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears, the Doctor of Flow.
Yo.
I'm here with the big guy, Matt Vive. What's up?
I feel like I should say something that rhymes.
I know. That's why I said what's up at the end, so you didn't go into Happy Gilmore.
Right. I'll eat some clay by the bay. I just may.
So how you doing, man?
Man, doing absolutely positively fantastic.
I love it. Don't ask me about my weekend because we did that on our first podcast we recorded
I got
today.
you. I got you. I won't ask you about it then. How were you this weekday instead of weekend?
No, ask me how my weekend was.
You don't know yet.
It was awesome, Matt. Right? Did you get a lot done?
Of course.
Perfect. Great job.
Yep.
So tell us what we're talking about.
So how to stay focused when you're exhausted. We know we're going into the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're talking about recruiting, okay, but not just about recruiting in general. You know, on the masterminds, you know, we can see it in some people's faces, right? So we wanted to talk about how to stay energized and focused.
I love it. Yeah, because this is the time of year when everybody gets exhausted and starts taking breaks and when they shouldn't take breaks. But anyway, I'm going to do like my own separate podcast on that guy. Just tune in later. Before we get started, make sure you hit that follow or that subscribe button wherever you are, and check out all the links that we have in the description below. Man, it's just a lot of free things that we have there. We also have Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society coming up every single Friday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Matt and I are there live with brokers, podcast listeners from across the country. Mm-hmm. And we just talk recruiting, we talk retention, we talk agent productivity. We have a ton of fun because I'm there. And everybody gets a lot out of it. And gosh, we can tell that it's good stuff because the brokers come back every single week.
Yep.
So, Matt.
Yep.
Staying focused when you're exhausted. It's like one of the hardest things. It's like one of the hardest things to do. And that's for every human on the face of the earth. So don't feel bad, guys, but we're going to talk about that. Yeah. And but first you have to recognize that you're exhausted.
Yeah. Well, so absolutely. You got to know that you got to know that you are. You got to be able to look around and say, am I performing the way I need to be performing, right? And keep in mind, when we say stay focused, I don't mean be in the zone all the time. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. You can't be, right? You can't be in the zone. Yeah, being in the auto zone all the time, of course, Ben. So you can't be in the zone all the time. Yeah. Right. So you have to be able to find a way of getting focused, staying focused, knowing that you can't be knocking it out 100% all the time, because if you do, the only thing that's going to do is burn you out exponentially faster. Right. So being able to keep your head on straight, being able to stay focused, being able to stay moving in the right direction, but understanding that being focused isn't being 100%. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's number one. But exhaustion, right? So what are your telltale signs? What is it is there something that you do that you start hitting the snooze on the alarm in the morning? Yeah. Right. Do you stay up later? Right. Kind of trying to avoid getting up first thing in the morning and going. Do you go other places before you go into the office, or do you go into the office first and then leave because you don't want to see the agents, right? What is it that you're doing? Do you not answer your phone as much? Do you delegate more things? What is it that you do? Know what your signs of exhaustion are. Yeah. Okay. If you know what your signs are and you kind of have that figured out, you take a step back, you look and go, okay, when did I really, kind of fall apart from a real estate broker standpoint the last time? What was it that was leading up to that? What do I remember? How did I feel? What were the things that were not getting done? When you identify all of that, you can be on the lookout for it the next time. Yeah. Because the worst thing that can happen is when you finally pick your head up and you look around and go, man, I'm just exhausted. Odds are you're actually past exhaustion. Yeah. You're actually well and deep into it. And I'm not going to say it's too late, but man, it takes so much more to get out of there. It takes so much more to recharge. Yeah. Right. So if you drop your battery down to 45%, it's completely different to get back to 100 than if you drop your battery down to 3%. Yeah. Right. So,
yeah, all I could think of when you were talking about all these.
yeah, you weren't even looking at me, dude. You're like, whatever, man.
I was just thinking about something else. That's what I do, man.
that's how you roll. I got you.
Yeah, I'm the ambassador of flow. Take this show where I want it to go.
And is he listening? No.
Exactly. I think of when you were like going through, all these signs of exhaustion, and especially when you said, do you work? In the morning and leave before the agents come because you don't want to see them. And I was like, if you work from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. because you don't want to see your brokerage, here's your sign.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, absolutely.
You remember the comedian that says that?
Oh, yeah. Jeff Foxworthy.
Well, no, you might be a redneck.
Oh, yeah, that's
Bill
right.
Engvall or something like that, or I think so.
No, is it, what's his name? The guy that played Tater in the Cars movie.
Oh yeah, that's the Get Her Done guy. That's
right. Isn't that the same guy?
No, there's another guy. I want to say his name.
Bill Engvall is the one, but Bill Engvall isn't the one that says "Here's your sign," is he?
I think he is. Yeah, he's the one that kind of like the longer black hair, like it's darker hair. You got the one the guy's like, they call me Tater Salad.
Right.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Then you got Larry the Cable Guy.
Right.
And then you got Jeff Foxworthy, who's you might be a redneck. We should do like some you might be a broker.
You might be a broker
if you're exhausted
all the time,
you might be a broker. And so anyway, well, I think it's Bill Engvall, but whatever, guys, you know who it is.
Right.
Put it in the comments below. This is a prime example of using the comments to move the show forward.
Absolutely.
We would love to know. We would love to know which one that is.
Yeah. Or if at least click a like because that helps the algorithm. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you got enjoyment out of that segment of Brokerpreneur podcast, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. So, we talked about the signs of exhaustion. Gosh, you got to recharge, right? We know that once you are exhausted.
Ron White is the one that has the.
Yeah, he's the Tater Salad.
Yep, and Bill Engvall.
Yeah.
All right, don't keep going, man. Don't.
No, I'm just gonna keep going, man. And one way to get out of exhaustion is to not do everything, not feel like you have to do everything, and that means you got to delegate and collaborate.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So notice it's not just delegate.
Yeah.
Okay, it's delegate and collaborate. Part of the so delegate is we all know what it is. It's you sharing that. Okay, all right. And collaborate, we all know what that is, right? I don't need to explain
I've heard
those
of it.
things. Right, okay.
There's rumors.
So how does that plug in big picture to what we're talking about as far as staying focused? Collaboration re-energizes you.
Yeah.
And if you allow it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so does delegation. Man, it's a great feeling whenever you hand something off to somebody. And I had a conversation with somebody about this recently and said, they were talking about a staff member, and they've been through a couple of staff members because the staff members weren't really getting things done the way that they could get them done, right? Now, this person really knows what they're doing and is very efficient at what they're doing, okay?
Yeah.
So, of course, your staff member isn't good at it. You've been doing this 20-some-odd years. You're expecting your staff member in a month and a half to understand the nuances of being able to do it, right?
Yeah.
And so my question to them was, are you focused on being the expert or them being the expert in that situation and learning to do it as well as you do it, or are you focused on being a good leader in that situation? Being a good leader in that situation means that if you delegate something to somebody and they don't do it the way that it's supposed to, you have an opportunity there to be the kind of leader that when you move forward in your business, that person knows how to lead other people based on how you led them.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Absolutely.
So if you're focused on being a leader when you delegate versus having your person turn into an expert whenever you delegate, then what that does allows everybody to kind of move forward. Now, I'm not saying accept mediocrity. Okay.
Of course.
So you might have to be a leader and manage things and keep an eye and train and have better standard operating procedures and have a better process. All of those things might have to happen. But if your focus is on being a leader, those things will naturally fall in place.
Yeah.
If you're not focused on those things being the important part and you're only focused on did they do that task at an expert level, you're always going to be trying to find the right person to delegate to because nobody's going to do it as good as you.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in your eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some people do it better than you.
Right.
But usually, oh, they don't do as good as me.
But you got them glasses on.
Yeah, you got them glasses.
You got them duty brown glasses.
Those paper eclipse goggles.
That's right.
There's a partial solar eclipse this weekend.
Is there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my phone told me.
Okay.
So I'm assuming.
Right.
But unless it was
it's an Apple phone, it probably lied to you.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's like
I just heard people
trying to convince me just to go solar. Maybe it was some ad for solar, guys. I don't know, but look it up. I think there's a partial eclipse this weekend, and by this weekend, if you're listening this a year from now, it's already over. I mean, tomorrow, or no, this Saturday, which is like the 15th or 16th of October. Now, learn from your setbacks.
Yeah, cannot stress this enough.
Yeah.
So you know what makes, when you're exhausted and you're down in the dumps, you know what makes it worse? Is to turn around and have to deal with the same exact problem that got you exhausted, that put you in that situation, to continue having to deal with that.
Is that the way you feel when we do podcasts?
No.
You're like, freaking Ben. I got to deal with this guy every time I shoot an episode.
Over and over. Just get to the outro.
Exactly. Intro it and leave.
I'll call you when we're done. Can't you add those on after I talk?
Exactly. I'll give it a shot.
No. We'd have to put a laugh track on.
Yeah. There'd be no jokes, guys.
Right.
All you guys would do is learn.
Notice he didn't say funny jokes.
Oh,
he just said no
I
jokes.
said jokes.
Okay,
Yeah, straight up. I mean, but here's
Speaking of setbacks,
you want to know my secret?
What's the secret?
Like, the Hulk. He's
I know the secret. You don't care whether anybody else laughs.
No, here's my secret. When you're talking talking about being exhausted from being a broker and that kind of thing, man, almost any joke's funny.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. They're looking for a reason to laugh.
Yeah, they are.
All right, and I'm giving it to them.
Yeah, that awkward laugh. They're like, I'm not exhausted. That's right. Solar eclipse.
Exactly. So talk about setbacks, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Ben here. I hope you're enjoying this episode. If sometimes you feel overloaded or alone when it comes to building your brokerage, I want you to know that we are here for you. There's so much support available to agents, but hardly any dedicated to brokers. I want to personally invite you to schedule a complimentary strategy call where Matt will help you build a 3-step profitability plan that will immediately produce results. This is not a sales pitch. There's no obligation. Simply click the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah, so knowing what kind of got you there, right? We talked about that just a second ago. And then being able to see when those things are happening and have a pattern of how you get past those.
Yeah.
Okay. So if let's go back to the example of you delegate something to somebody, and you hire somebody, you delegate this task to them. Man, they do that task the wrong way, and this is the 4th person that you've hired in the past 12 months to do these 6 tasks, and they just can't seem to get it right. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem in the person you're hiring. So, right? I mean, so let's take a step back.
Yeah.
So either you hired somebody for that job that you shouldn't have hired them for.
Yeah.
Or they weren't clear about what it was when they said that they could do it. Okay. Either they weren't clear or they lied, right? Which happens. Yeah. Okay. Or the way that you brought them up to speed on what was supposed to be accomplished the expectation was not set the way that it needed to be set. Otherwise, they would have been able to perform it at least in the moderate range of how you wanted it done so that you could shift it from there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Understand how to not trip over the same setbacks.
Yeah.
If the same thing is not happening and you're tripping over it over and over and over and over again, all right, maybe take a step back and go, why do I keep tripping in the same exact spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it the spot or are your shoes untied?
Yeah. Right. What I was going to say is a sidewalk.
Yeah.
You walk up to your front door of your house. You got this nice sidewalk, walking up to the stairs, and every day you trip over that same spot in the sidewalk.
Yeah.
You can blame it on the sidewalk if you want to.
Yeah.
But don't you have the opportunity to fix the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Don't you have the opportunity to remember that that's there at the sidewalk? Don't you have the chance to be alert to not trip over that same exact thing?
Put some reflector tape on there, guys.
Something, man. Something.
Shame on you.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, we can talk more about that, but
No,
I feel like I'm beating up on the audience right now.
Yeah, no, that's why I bring in the jokes.
All right, I appreciate that.
All right. I'm going to give a shout out to May. May works for us.
Okay.
And
May's awesome.
May is amazing. We love
It was
May.
her birthday this like a week ago.
Yeah, I asked her. I was like, how old are you? You 25?
You can't ask him that. We're going to be in the middle of a lawsuit now, Ben.
No, I can with May.
You can with May.
May's like my
May
best
don't
friend.
give it. May don't care.
And so she was like, I was like 28 when I started working with you guys.
Oh, wow.
Which I knew
this
that,
was a tough birthday then.
Yeah, I knew that, but whatever. But man, she didn't know half the things, at least, that we have her doing now when she first started working with us.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right? And it's one of those things where it could have been easily like, oh, I can do that. I can do that better. I can do this better. But no, it just like you keep working on the systems. You work on them
Absolutely.
together. And now she's
She's
so
a beast.
much further past.
Absolutely.
And getting our game where it would have never been if it was just the two of us.
Yeah, I use the example of the CMAs, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll be really quick. People who listen to the podcast a lot, they're going to go, "Oh, skip ahead because I've heard this before." Yeah. Just hold tight.
Yeah, Country Music Awards, guys. Let's listen.
Right, there you go. So when somebody, I had a lot of times that there was really experienced agents or team leaders say, I would ask them, have somebody else do the CMA for you. Mm-hmm. And then you just review it and make sure that it's right. And they would always say the same exact thing. No, nobody can do the CMA as good as me. I know the neighborhood. I know that, right? And so, okay, I get that belief. Okay?
Yes.
All right. At some point, if that staff member, if that is a fundamental part of their job, at some point they're going to become better than that, than you are. Okay?
Yes.
Now, the argument is, well, I know the neighborhood. I've been inside so many of those houses, and I've seen this, and I've seen that, and all those kind of things and everything, right? Okay, I completely get that. But if you're doing, let's say that you're listing a lot of properties. Let's say that for a single agent, let's say that you're listing 30 properties a year, okay? Let's say that you're getting most of them, and you're doing CMAs and some for your buyers and everything. Let's say you're doing 75 different types of market analysis a year for clients for different reasons. Right, you're doing real estate reviews, you're doing CMAs for properties, and you're doing for buyers and CMAs for sellers. Let's say you're doing 75 a year. If you have a staff member doing that, and they're only doing 75 a year, then I would probably agree. You probably are, because you've got a head start, and you do know the market a little bit better and everything. However, if that person has the opportunity to do more of those CMAs, and they really have more time to spend on those CMAs, and they really understand numbers better, not saying that people that are great salespeople can't be great numbers people. Right. That's definitely not the correlation.
Right.
Most of the time. So now maybe you have somebody that's more of a numbers person that doesn't have the personality to go out there and go and do and prospect and be in front of people and everything, but man, they can run a calculator. Yeah. Right? You've got that person now that's sitting behind the desk doing the things that they need to be doing, and they're learning how to execute the CMA the way that they're supposed to. And you're telling them, hey, I normally do 75 a year. I want you to do really good at this. So instead of you doing 15 or 20 a month, whatever that number breaks down to be, or 10 a month or whatever that is, I want you to do 15 a month. I'm going to have you do several CMAs for people that are in my neighborhood. I'm going to review it. I'm going to look at it, and then I'm going to send those to you. I want you to do one CMA a day, or I want you to do one CMA every other day, or whatever that adds up to. Yep. How long is it going to be at that point before they're better than most people, and that they're better than what could be you? Yeah. Because at some point, if that's their personality and that's what they're good at, they are going to surpass it. Yeah. And so my point behind all of this is, if you've got the opportunity of being able to train somebody up, you can focus on the things that you need to focus on that's going to help you stay in the game the way that you need to, especially if you become exhausted. Yeah.
And, I wasn't ignoring you, Matt.
Oh, whatever, man.
Right. Usually I do.
I know.
Right. But this time I wasn't.
Normally you're thinking of a joke while I'm talking.
Shane, I always do that. That's something even like when we're not on the podcast. Constantly thinking, how can I turn to Shane, our bro Shane, I was talking to him, and we were talking a lot about delegation. We were talking about, in collaboration. And he sent me this quote. I don't know if it's quotes. He may have just came up with it, right? I may edit this to where it sounds like I just said it. Right. So it's that good. But he says,
so Ben, tell us something important. Here we go. This will make the edit easy. Yeah. So Ben, tell us something really important.
Yeah, something that I was thinking about, but didn't really know how to put it into words. I'm just going to randomly say, all systems succeed when matched with the same level of accountability.
I like it.
What do you think about that, Matt? I just came up with that.
Yeah. I think it's a shame that you think you came up with that yourself.
Shame. But yeah, I just thought that I was like, that's killer.
And it couldn't be better timing.
Yeah, it could be better timing.
Yeah,
exactly. So our last thing on our list here, because we're coming up, just over 20 minutes here, and we like to keep it at a certain time, is community and networking.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we kind of touched on this just a little bit when we talked about collaborating, and that's why I was kind of a little bit vague in that part, because I knew we were going to be talking about it now.
Yeah.
So, man, you got to be in the right community, right? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who energizes you, right? You were the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? And so we know that. We've heard that before. That is how you make sure that you stay on track and get back on track, and how you can regain focus if you're exhausted, or if you're exhausted and I said regain focus, or it can be how you keep focus if you're exhausted. How do I keep my head in the game? You can be in a really bad place and hang out with the right people, and man, just like that, it can turn things around. And you can be in a great place and hang out with the wrong people, and just like that. Right? And so sometimes those right people are your agents. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to go into the bullpen, whether it's virtual or whether it's live. Just go out there and sit down and talk to them and see what's going on with them, right?
Yeah.
Other times that's the exact worst thing to do, right?
Yeah.
You know your people, you know your relationship with them, you know who the different ones are. You got to figure out what works for you and all that kind of stuff, right? But from a big picture standpoint, having a group of people that energize you a certain way, that want things to happen for you a certain way, that want you to win. They're your people that want you to win. Having those people in place can help keep you from getting to that exhaustion point. Yeah. And if you do get to that exhaustion point, because it sneaks up on you sometimes, this is real estate, it can help you stay focused. It can help you keep your head on straight. I can't stress the importance enough of that being brokers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you want your networking group, and you want your friends from church, and you want the parents from the soccer team, and you want all of those people, 100%. You got people at work, all that kind of stuff. There's just people that help. I can't stress enough how brokers need to be part of that.
Yeah, completely agree with that. We have several different ways that you can collaborate and network and connect with brokers, guys. You've heard me talk about them several times. Obviously on Friday, it's a free way to do it, and it's Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. Come join us. It's 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every single Friday. Matt and I are there live with brokers and podcast listeners.
Fun.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun from across the country. You want to take it next level, and we don't sell anything on this, just so you know, on this Brokerpreneur Not So Secret Society. We're just providing value. But if you do want to go next level, gosh, we also have daily masterminds with our brokerpreneurs every single day. Just again, surrounding ourselves with great people, and they're all brokers trying to grow their brokerage.
And there's not a day that somebody doesn't come in and they're in a certain place, and being there, you can tell they say it right. They say it when it happens. They say it as we're finishing up. Man, this is just what I needed today, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Matt.
Yep.
Anything else before I put a medium-sized bow on it?
I don't think so, Ben.
Awesome. Well, guys, wherever you're listening to this, make sure that if it's iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, any of those platforms, hit that follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube, what's up? Make sure you hit that red subscribe button, that bell right beside of it. You get notified every time we drop a new episode. Also, leave a comment down below, right? Who's your favorite country comedian or whatever?
Ron White, Bill Engvall, Jeff Foxworthy, or Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. And let us know who's the here's your sign guy. I think it's Bill Engvall, but I'm not sure. Sure. If that's who it is, let us know, and just say, I like his jokes. I don't like his jokes. I think that'd just be funny to know.
Yep.
And then just write a comment also that says, I love Dr. Ben's jokes. and hit that thumbs up button. And because the algorithm just really pushes us to the top.
I love how you squeeze that in there.
It's like, here's your bin. And so other than that, go to brokerpreneurpodcast.com. Check out all the cool things that we have there to grow your brokerage no matter what phase or stage of the business that you're in. Tons of links in the description below. Register for BNSSS. We'll see you Friday. Matt, we do this for one reason alone. Tell them why that is.
Man, we just want to be part of your win.